Folks, it's been pretty average, the weather out here in Melbourne where I'm in Lethbridge. Sunny, windy, rain, sun, wind. Sun's just come out 5 minutes ago. It was bucketing rain and it's just stopped. Now what that does to your garden, basically exhausts it, and it also washes out a lot of those nutrients. And as we get into spring, which we are technically getting into now, your garden's going to need a feed. Your soil's going to need to be stimulated. You need to put a good amount of organic matter into it. But more importantly, if you want to activate it faster, in other words, sooner rather than later, then liquid feed is the way to go. Now today I'm going to show you a great way to liquid feed your garden, and you probably all think, what's he talking about? You just mix it and pour it. Well, I'm going to utilize one of these old buckets. Have a look at that. It's an old Superfood 6 kilo bucket. Most of you use them for recycling. You put other stuff into them, things like that, or you bring it back to our stores and get a refill done on it, so you save your money on packaging. But another option today is we're going to use it for liquid feeding. So this is a 12-litre bucket, and with that, well, I'm going to introduce this little gadget here. Whoop, don't fall down. Now this here is a gadget that I've known for a while. Have brought one in to trial out a few days ago and absolutely love it. It's a siphon jet, if I can pronounce it correctly, a siphon unit basically. What it is a fitting here that screws onto your garden tap, and on this side here you screw your garden hose fitting, so you have your hose connected to there. So it's a unit that you put in between your tap and your hose. Now what that does is mixes the liquid fertilizer for you. So we've got this little pipe here on the side with a stainless steel spring filter on it. You sit that in a bucket like this, connect that to your tap, put your liquid feed in, turn your tap on, and you're laughing. You're watering the garden and feeding it at the same time. And the best part about that, well folks, you don't have to stop every 5 seconds to refill your watering can. So you do a watering can, 9 litres, 10 litres, runs out 1-2 garden beds, got to go back and fill it up again. Not with this unit. Come, I'll show you how it works. So on my little tap here, I've screwed it onto one of the outlets here, and on the bottom there, I've screwed on a tap adapter, tap hose connector. That's straight on there. Clicked on my hose, got this end in the bucket. Let's put the pressure on and fill up the bucket first with clean water. Fill your bucket up with clean water up to about 3/4, and then add your liquid fertilizer, just so you can avoid frothing up, so when you're doing the mixing. There we are. Now, what I'm using here is a 12-litre bucket here, folks, and the mixing rate with this siphon unit is about 20:1. So whatever you put in here, it'll mix it down 20 parts clean water with 1 part of the solution. So on those mathematics, in a 10-litre bucket, let's say it's a 10-litre bucket, we're putting our Eco Butch, which is our biostimulant, one of the best products, if not the best product in the market. We're putting about 400 to 500 mils in here. And this is all by eye. Yep, that's about 400 or 500 mils. And this has only got about 400 mils in here as well. And what I've just poured in there, folks, is our liquid gold. So combine the two together, that's 800 mils in a 10-litre bucket, thereabouts, or 12 litres. Give or take a couple of litres is not going to make a huge difference in the mixing rate or hurting your plants. Now, when this comes out from the hose end here, it should be mixed down to 20 mils of each solution per litre that comes out of here. So for every litre of water, we should get the right ratio of solution getting blended through as we're watering. Now we top it up. And if you're not confident, folks, to measure it, well, don't do it by eye. Get a measuring cup and get it right. Now, I've got my bucket filled with my liquid. I've got my unit connected to the tap and the hose. And now the other part is the end of the hose. Let's talk about that first. Now, what it does come with is one of these little rose heads. They call it a water adapter or splitter or something like that. Now, that there is your typical rose head as you would get on one of your watering wands. One of your watering wands like this. That one there, and I've got this little short one just to show you. Now, the issue using a watering wand with a unit like this is the ball valve in here, the shut-off ball valve here, restricts the water flow. Even when it's open at full capacity, the water flow is dramatically restricted, which affects the mixing rate. So to bypass that, all you need to do is get your rose head, one of these little fittings, which we'll track down eventually, but you can get them at all garden centres. Screw that on the end of there and adapt it straight onto the end of your hose. And that will fix any problem that you have with the mixing. Example number 1, look right here to see where the liquid fertilizer is in the pipe. I've connected my long watering wand, and I'll show you what happens when you turn it on. Oop, it's gone clear. That's showing you that the rose fitting here is restricting the water flow because it works on water pressure, folks, and we're not getting the flow going through. So now we're back to clean water, almost. Let's have a look. There we go, now it's cleaned up. No more suds, no more bubbles from the fertiliser, so it doesn't work. And now I'm going to show you with the rose head that they give you and connecting straight to the end of your hose like this. And now you can see there's no white gap there. We've got no soap suds yet, so have a look at the water coming down here. Once we fill the pipe up with the solution, we should start seeing bubbles, and here they come. So there's your sign that it does work, folks, and you can see the discoloration in the water as well. So folks, as I said, the whole unit works on water pressure. Make sure your water pressure is correct from the tap all the way to the end of the hose, and that way you won't have a single problem watering your garden and enjoying the wonderful liquid fertilisers that will give you beautiful produce. I'm bloody hungry now. See that little mark there? That's our indicator. That's what we're going to use to measure the height of the liquid solution in here. It should lower down. And folks, until I find the right shut-off valve that doesn't restrict the water flow, I'm going to practice the old traditional fold the pipey method. There we are. Oh, I tasted that EcoButch. That went straight in my mouth. Have a look at this. The wind is giving me the shoots. But we can water our garden now. Let's go through this again. The siphon jet, if I pronounce that correctly, will mix 20 to 1. So 20 parts clean water, 1 part the liquid solution you make in your bucket. Now if your bucket's a 10 litre bucket, we'll go with a 10 litre bucket, times that by 20, and that's 200 litres of solution, and that's only using 500 ml of each liquid that we have. So EcoButch 500, Liquid Gold 500. In a 10 litre bucket, you get 200 litres. Convert that to watering cans. That's 20 watering cans. And for those out there who water a lot using liquid fertiliser, that's 20 trips. How many minutes and time is that overall that you can save by doing this? Have a look at this. I've done 2 garden beds. I'm up to my 3rd here, and I still have not run out of liquid feed. I reckon I do about 5 to 10 litres per square metre like this. So that's almost 1 watering can. Even if you went half a watering can, half in here, half in there, between all the beds I've got here, that's at least 200 litres of water, giving it a light water over the top, folks. Not a deep soak, just a light one, let's say. That's a lot of time I save. Have a look at this bed. Everything's self-germinated. We're giving it a liquid feed. We're not wasting any time. We're getting it on the foliage and into the ground where it needs it, stimulating the life, hydrating and feeding at the same time, and saving a lot of time on top. Let's go check out how much we've used. That's where we started. After 5 garden beds, we've done, what's that, about 1 litre, if you're lucky, not even of the solution. So we've done times 20, that's 20 litres more, actually, probably about 30 litres. So yeah, I haven't given them a deep watering, but look how much more we still got to go. And I don't have to worry about refilling the watering can, having it frothing up, looking for the hose, walking up and down, doing a couple of kilometres just to be able to feed my garden with a liquid feed. This way, it's up to you how long or little you want to water, because it's all done for you. So these are all the positives I've shared with you now, folks. Let's talk about the cons. Okay, folks, from the top, let's go through it. First things first, water pressure. Check the water pressure from your tap, obviously, because if it's low, you're not going to get the right mixing rate. Also, the type of fittings you use. For example, down here, I've shown you the watering wands that are very popular and fantastic, by the way. Aussie gardeners have a great watering wand as well with all the different attachments. In actual fact, this is it. This is a good one, so I enjoy using this one, folks. But the problem with all watering wand is the ball joint here, or the shut-off valve, restricts the amount of water flow even at full capacity. So you might have to find a better unit, or a unit with a better ball valve on them. That's about it, but they're pretty universal across the board. I even tried reducing it down this way, but again, there's a ball joint there which affects it. So what we do with that is we actually use the fitting rose head that it comes with, and all we need to do is get a hose connection to it to screw it on in place. So that deals with that issue quite easily. The second to that is obviously the length of your hose. Now, in my garden bed here, I've got at least 50 metres from one end to the other to walk. So in my usual practice is I have 2 hoses connected together or so on this little trolley, and I walk up and down. That's too long for the product, and it's actually stated that as well. So nothing over 25 metres is what I would say. And generally speaking, most households will have 2 garden taps, one at the front, one at the back, so you can have a fitting. You can take it from the front to the back or buy 2 of them and connect them on there with a bucket on the side, and you can easily accommodate watering the entire garden. And there's actually quite a good feeling about this. I haven't done it like this for a long time, and I don't mind it. So the rose head on the end, the length of your hose, and the water pressure with the shut-off valve. Get that all right, and you're laughing. And the third issue, folks, and this is something that I went through when I first set this up, just showing you some of the things so you can troubleshoot and find a solution for it, is the fact that it's made in America. It's a really strong quality product. There's a little filter there system and a ball bearing system where it stops any backflow going in and making a mess of the solution. So that's a good part about that. This unit here is really strong. As small as it is, it's robust, but it does come with an American thread inside. Now, we call our threading here universal or BSB. Americans have a different term for it or name for it. So this is our typical Australian thread. You'll find that the threads are slightly different, and the way I troubleshooted this, and I'll show you what I mean by that, is you can screw it on, it'll get to a certain point and stop. Now, you can force it on if you like, but rather than forcing it on, all you need to do is get a double ring inside. Then let me get this one out for you to show you what I mean. This is your typical water ring that's stops the water leaks coming through. Every single hose connection, threaded hose connection, has one of these. Now, if you've got one of these like that, all you need to do is put a second one on top, and then when it comes to screwing it on, it'll hit the rubber seal, the second seal. You don't need a lot of threading going on. Second seal by then, it'll be nice and tight and no water leaking. You can do the same here for your garden tap, and that solves that problem. So double rings, one on there, one in here, goes there, your hose goes down there, that goes on your tap, and obviously this fitting goes here to your bucket of solution, and you are ready to rock and roll and feed your garden. Now, as I mentioned before, this fitting that connects to the end of your tap can screw on the end of the rose head that you get with the unit, and that way you can water straight from your hose into your garden and have no reduction of water pressure, and you get the mixing rate exactly that. That's 20-to-1 mixing rate. So in a 10-litre bucket, the way we're selling this online, you can buy it on its own, or you can get it with a liquid pack, 1 litre. That's an EcoButch and Liquid Gold. So for a 10-litre bucket, you mix about half a litre of each solution in there, and that will make you 200 litres of ready-to-use solution in your garden. That's 200 square metres, if you like, to measure it that way. 200 litres? No, that's 20 square metres of garden. Ooh. 10 litres per square metre or 5 litres per square metre, 20 to 40 square metres. That's a fair amount of watering. And at the end of the day, that's 20 less watering cans that you have to fill up every 30 seconds to go and water your garden. So available on our website, folks. There's only a handful that we brought in, less than 30 at the moment. And we're keen to bring more in on these because my gut feeling tells me you're going to like it. I love it. I'm going to use it all the time. It's the best way to liquid feed. And for those who do a light solution, you can adjust the mixing rate and water it every week if you like in your garden, and you will not have a single problem. I've almost not had a single problem unless crazy things happen above ground. So get onto it, liquid feed your garden, available on our website vasilisgarden.com. And if you do want one and we sell out, please just send us a message or call us. We may do a pre-order after these sell out. We'll see how we go. vasilisgarden.com, Siphon Jet with our liquid pack is now available. From me, Vasili Maresi.